Okay, welcome everybody back to Steve Talks Boxing X STBX with our sponsor Boxing.support. And this week we are talking about this Saturday's fight, which is DEVIN Haney versus Regis Prograis. And joining me this week is Twitter X legend Rob BoxingShrew. Welcome to the show, Rob. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks for having me, mate. It was a pleasure to be asked, to be honest. I follow a lot of stuff on Twitter, all the snack stuff. It's a good laugh, isn't it? So, keep up what you're doing.
Keep the snacks going, always. And we got a new competition as well, £10 giveaway on the snacks competition on Saturdays as well. So look out for that. My first question to you, Rob, you're actually going to the fight this Saturday. Have you got room in your suitcase for me?
Yeah, if you fancy it, mate. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, my passport's up to date. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, well, I've always wanted to go to San Fran anyway, a bit of a bucket list thing. And as soon as I quite like DEVIN Haney, and as soon as I saw the fight got announced, I thought, I'm going to price it up and have a look, really. So, it's soon come around, hasn't it? I think my biggest worry was booking the whole trip, not knowing if a fight gets pulled, a fighter's injury, or
if you get your money back or anything like that. So
no, there's no way you'd get it back, is there? So, but then I thought, well, I've always wanted to go there anyway, and luckily, it's fight week, and neither of them have pulled out yet. So fingers crossed it happens on Saturday.
Yeah, fingers crossed for you. Going on to the venue, we mentioned San Francisco. Well, we're used to seeing fights, obviously, in Vegas, New York. Being in San Francisco, what do you reckon the fight atmosphere is going to be like there?
It should be amazing. I mean, I watch a lot of basketball, and naturally, the Golden State Warriors are on a lot, and the atmosphere in their home games is generally like really good. It sounds like the noise stays in. Add to that San Francisco hasn't really had a big fight in a generation, never had one in that arena. Obviously, Haney, the homecoming, becoming two-time world champion, hopefully for them, and I think it's going to be insane. Do you?
Yeah, I totally agree. And it's crazy that I was reading up as well. I mentioned to you earlier that the fight, they've never had boxing at that venue as well. So it's a first for them as well. So I imagine, come Saturday with a good build up, I reckon.
Well, apparently they've sold 15,000 tickets, which that nearly fills the O2, doesn't it? So it's that kind of level,
Yeah, that's decent ticket sales. Are you going for Haney or Prograis? Which fan? Well, you mentioned actually. You said you're a Haney fan. So.
I am a Haney fan, but I'm also sort of. I'm not clouded by that. I think I do think Haney will win. I think he'll probably win on points. I just think he'll have enough over 12 rounds, but I don't think you can write off Prograis. I mean, Haney, it's a big jump. Yes, he's a big lightweight, going up to light welter, but I would consider Prograis the man really at that division. Him and Teofimo perhaps. Obviously, he's been kicking around for a while. Prograis. I don't know. I wouldn't rule him out, but I think you'd have to go with Haney, and the bookies sort of agree, don't they?
Yeah. Well, the next question was going to be exactly that weight. Haney now at 140, super light. How much difference does that make? Do you think?
I don't think it will make a big deal of difference. Obviously, Prograis is, I wouldn't say a career like welter, but he's been there for a long time now, all the way up through the Super Series, the fight with Josh Taylor, which I personally thought he won. It was very, very close. So in my opinion, Prograis should still be undefeated right now, which all of a sudden would add a whole different element to the fight of losing the O. But no, I don't think it will make a difference. I think the big question mark would be the chin check, because obviously Haney he got caught by Linares at lightweight, and he went Bambi legs for a split second. Obviously, he came through that, but if Prograis lands that left, that famous left he's got, it's an interesting chin check. I think that's the only real sort of question mark over the weight. But what do you think?
Yeah, I don't think it make much difference, to be honest with you. So it's not much of a difference. Weight wise, and I think Haney, he should be okay. I think if well, obviously we ain't seen the weigh-in yet, so but
Yeah.
hopefully, yeah, both
I
will
said they
be
better make weight. They
comfortable. Yeah,
better
they've got
make
to make
weight for
weight.
Saturday. I'll
Yeah.
be fuming.
Yeah, obviously we're talking about it. We're not seeing what they look like on the scales yet. So, but yeah, I think it'd be okay at that weight. The other factor is age gap. There's a 10-year age gap between them as well. Would that play a factor in the fight? Do you think?
I don't think so. I don't
No.
think so. As much as the weight will really.
Mm-hmm.
They're both elite level operators, aren't they?
Yeah.
I just don't see it. I mean, Prograis been at that sort of level for a while. Haney's come up
Yeah.
very quickly, really, over the last few years. I don't see it. I mean, you know, no one spoke about the age difference when he went very close with Lomachenko.
Yeah.
So no, I don't think so. I don't think so. I wouldn't say Prograis over the hill either. It's not like Catterall Linares,
Yeah.
it's not that sort of situation.
Yeah.
No, I don't really sort of look into that at all. Do you?
Yeah, no, not at all. Like I said, you gave a good example of Catterall Linares. Unfortunately, we like to remember Linares in his good years, I think, rather than obviously his later fights. Anyway,
Yeah.
Both fighters seem to have a genuine dislike to each other. Is that true? Or are they trying to beef up the fight? Are they trying to sell the fight? Do you think?
I don't know. I thought the face-off looked pretty legit to me.
Yeah.
There was a lot of. I mean, the press conference, the announcement press conference was a lot fiery than I thought it would be. I know the teams got maybe a bit more involved in it than the fighters, but I feel that there's a chip on Haney's shoulder that he feels like Team Prograis accusing him of having an easy way in. With a bit of a free ride all the way through. We'll go on to whether he's had losses scrubbed off in a minute. But
yeah. Do you think it's just mind
then,
games then? Is it a bit of mind games?
Yeah, a little bit.
Just get into each other's head, really?
Yeah. I think from Prograis' grievance is that they're overlooking him. They're just seeing him as a stepping stone. But he's the champ. He's the guy to beat now. And I think because of his performance against Zarilla, I feel like they're looking at that. But look at Shakur Stevenson the other week. If we based every fighter off their last performance, you'd say he was shit, wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly.
But he's not. He's an elite level guy. So I think they've both been rubbed up the wrong way, and hopefully they take it out on each other on Saturday.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
What do you think? Do you think it's legit?
I really do. I've seen clips of the interview. The sit down face to face. I think it is genuine. I don't think they like each other 100%. It seems genuine anyway. But you don't know, do you really? It's whether they, obviously putting more into it just to literally, like I said, get more ticket sales. You touched briefly on that. What did you make of Prograis' allegation of Devin losing those fights in Mexico and then getting it paid to take off his record? What do you make of that?
It's probably rubbish, isn't it? It's probably rubbish. I don't know. He keeps saying he's got sources and proof, but release the proof, because until they do, I'll take it with a pinch of salt, to be honest. A lot of fighters start in Mexico and work their way through, especially because he was so young when he started, Devin Haney. I don't see it, but you never know. Worse things have happened in boxing this year, eh?
Yeah, it could be. I don't see how it happens, though, to be honest with you. Like I said, obviously, start off in Mexico, how accurate them fights are recorded, taken down, but I can't see that, obviously, he paid someone to remove those fights.
Yeah.
That just seems really bizarre, and if any sort of commission or whoever, I don't know, who keeps track of them fights, really...
Plus, Devin Haney is awesome. So, imagine how good he was against some of these Mexican fighters when he was starting off before we all knew of him. I mean, I don't see it. I really don't.
Is that just another ploy from Prograis getting your head, sort of?
Maybe.
Yeah, just saying.
He's never released it before, has he? And suddenly they're fighting each other, and now he's brought it out. So,
well, yeah, it's a bit of a funny one. It's never been in the news before, and obviously Haney's undefeated, but according to Prograis, maybe he's not undefeated really. So
Could you
maybe,
imagine if it was true though?
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Maybe it is a mind game saying, well, no, yeah, you have actually lost, but you've done this to get rid of it anyway. So,
Yeah.
uh, and from Haney's point of view, having that undefeated record obviously boosts your ego, doesn't it? Really. So,
Puts a few more quid on your paycheck as well, doesn't
and
it?
that as well, yeah. So going into a big fight, I think you need every sort of like psychological aspect, a little bit of edge, undefeated. No, I've not lost against anyone in pro games. Maybe portraying that, maybe you are lying there. So, but like I said, it'd be bizarre if that is the case. Really, uh, I don't believe it personally. So,
Yeah.
I know. Again, you touched on your prediction earlier. Just want to go over that final prediction. You're saying Haney on points, and so let's go a bit more in depth. Are we talking close points, wide points? What we're looking at here?
I think it's going to be competitive. I don't think it'd be a
Mm-hmm.
120, 108 fight. I really don't. I think, that would be so disrespectful to Prograis straight
Yeah.
off the bat. Like I said, Prograis comes into this really dangerous. I don't really understand some of the people online who are just conclusively Devin Haney. Like I said, I'm a fan, but
Mm-hmm.
I think it will be competitive. I think maybe, I don't know, 3-4 rounds in it. I don't know. I don't know. They're both saying they're going into it getting to go for the knockout, but
yeah,
I think we see 12 pretty
12
good
rounds.
rounds.
Yeah. Well, I think I read. I think it was a Zone or feed saying who's gonna win, and the majority of people were saying Haney on points, but the people who said Prograis, they said Prograis going to win by knockout. So yeah, so
I don't see Prograis winning on points, so I
no.
can understand that.
So the only way Prograis wins is knockout.
Could you imagine? Wow.
It is boxing.
Of course, yeah.
Anything can happen, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah. But that's it. You're locked in though.
Yeah, I think so. I just don't see Devin Haney knocking him out. I mean, he's got a couple of highlight reel knockouts, but he's not knocked out anyone. He went in and did 24 rounds with Kambosos, didn't he?
Yeah.
He did 12 with Lomachenko, and at no real point did I feel like he was going to stop either of those guys. And I think Prograis probably tougher than those two. So nothing really points towards a stoppage, but you never know. I mean, Prograis, like you said, we spoke earlier that age might not be a thing, but it happens at some point, right?
Yeah, it catches up with you. That's why I'm so interested about the weigh-in and see how they look on
I think Haney will look good.
Yeah.
I think he will because he was a big lightweight, wasn't he?
Yeah, definitely. That's what I'm saying. I think it made that weight easy anyway. So
definitely, yeah.
And always do a couple of ending questions, Rob. Lots going on with the heavyweights at the moment. Obviously, we've got the AJ versus Wallin, Wilder versus Parker, all happening. Fingers crossed, still happening on the 23rd. What hope have you got they're going to make AJ and Wilder the next fight after that one?
I mean, it's the closest it's probably ever been. The fact we're on the same card.
It's a good start.
Yeah. I mean, in two, pretty good fights. I mean, Wallin's not a pushover. And I feel the Wilder Parker fight is actually really intriguing.
Yeah.
I feel Wilder will catch him eventually, but I think I put out something recently where Parker's had sort of 5 fights and 30 odd rounds, 34 rounds in the time that Wilder has had 1 round in 3 or 4 years. So
exactly, that hilarious knockout, wasn't it? The first round knockout.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, which didn't really tell us anything, did it? No. So I think it will happen. I actually do, because I think that now, we can all have our own opinions about the whole Saudi thing, but I think they have that level of money that will force these things to happen. So I do think it'll happen if they both come through in December. It's always been the one for me. It's always been the one.
Yeah,
I've always felt that it didn't need the belts. I mean, even when Joshua beat Klitschko, if you remember that night,
yeah,
Wilder was on co-commentary.
yeah,
That's 6.5 years ago.
yeah. It's mad.
It's disgusting that it hasn't
Yeah,
happened yet. So I think it will now.
it will happen. There is a rumor though that obviously if Fury does fight Usyk and the unification, that obviously Hertovich would be mandatory and
Yeah,
AJ would be second, and AJ may chase that 3 times world champion rather than go for the Wilder fight.
it's more important though, isn't it?
Yeah, what, to be 3 times world champion?
But the problem is, if he beats Hergovich, then he'd have to go Usyk trilogy, and I
Yeah,
think,
I know.
unfortunately, Usyk's got his number. So
Yeah, yeah, I know. So yeah, so it's, you never know, because personally, I think if AJ was offered the Wilder fight for a load of money or be a 3 time world champion, I think he'd jump at the 3 time world
yeah,
champion.
100%. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I agree. I
Mm-hmm.
think as well, the Joshua Wilder fight. I mean, I've always thought it would be a better watch and a better fight and a
Mm-hmm.
bigger event than Fury Usyk with all the
Yeah,
belts on the line. I've
yeah.
always thought it. I mean, it's a firefight, isn't it? If it did happen right now, I mean, who would you favour?
You would have to. I'm
I
not
know this is your
sure.
show, but I'm sticking it on you,
Yeah,
Steve.
it's a tough one. You put me on the spot there now. So I would wait until see if what happens with these fights personally. But if I was put on the spot, I would say personally, probably maybe Wilder would catch AJ at some stage. Although AJ's got the ability to box, and second fight Andy Ruiz, stay out of trouble. He can. He's got the ability to do that. So,
Yeah,
but that's what makes it a bit more intriguing. These guys almost get like I wouldn't say a warm up fight because they're both tough fights, but it's good fights to go into that fight if it did happen. I think next with we mentioned Fury and Usyk is booked for February. How hopeful are you on that? It's actually going to happen?
yeah, I think it'll happen. Bar
Yeah.
injuries, I do. I think I know we all laughed and joked about the whole December 23rd thing about
Mm-hmm.
them meant to be fighting then, but that was never realistically going to happen when Fury's gone life and death with Ngannou. I can't even believe it, but with Ngannou,
Yeah.
so yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it. You never quite know with Tyson Fury what's going to
Mm.
happen. The mind games. He's been very quiet lately, which I think is a good thing in terms of a fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Started uploading stuff the last 24 hours of his training, so
Yeah.
it looks like it's all systems go. But again,
Yeah.
it's the power of the Saudi money, unfortunately, for
Yeah.
me. But it's making these fights happen. So I do think it'll happen. Yeah, do
Yeah.
you?
Yeah. That's good. And obviously, being in Saudi, we get to watch it at a decent time rather than
Yeah, there is
staying
that.
up,
Yeah,
staying up all night at like Vegas or
yeah,
New York or something like that. So that's a positive from me anyway.
definitely, mate. Yeah.
But from that. So okay, that pretty much ends our show this week. Thank you very much, Rob, for coming on. Again, appreciate your time. Obviously, have a great time over there in San Francisco, and if you can, you get your pictures from seats. If you can, get your
I will
photos
do,
there.
mate. Yeah.
Yeah, I won't guarantee I'll be awake because I think I'll probably wake in the morning.
It's not on pay per view for the
No,
UK DAZN subscribers,
no,
is it?
it is a normal DAZN non-pay per view. So they've treated us, haven't they?
Yeah,
So getting towards that,
definitely. Well, look, mate, thanks so much for having me, mate. As I
yeah,
said earlier, a big fan of your stuff on Twitter, and myself and Alex, we keep an eye on your stuff, and I like the banter with all the snacks,
yeah,
and yeah, you've got a fantastic fridge magnet collection as
yeah.
well,
We
mate.
have as well. Yeah, I think it's always a good shout out to the. We gave Darren's missus a shout out last week, but let's give my fridge magnets a shout out this week.
Tell you
Anyway,
what, I'll get you a fridge magnet the weekend, and I'll
that'd
send
be
it to you.
brilliant if you can. Yeah, that'd be
Cool.
awesome.
All right, mate.
But yeah, appreciate you coming in again. Please support the channel the best you can with likes, subscriptions, and comments. And also, please, if you get a chance to check out boxing.support as well. They do some great work. All the details are on the bottom of the video here. And also get your beers and snacks in as well. So, because we also got obviously a bit of a show with Boxer on Sunday as well. So a double header on Sunday. So
Yeah, that's Bilham Smith, isn't it?
Chris Smith, yep,
Yeah.
in Bournemouth. So yeah, so we've got a bit of a double header. Wake up early, watch Haney, Prograis, move on to Boxer. I think that sounds like
Sounds
a
good.
good plan.
Mate, I'm a big fan of Sunday boxing. I think more promoters should do it, especially with all these clashes, you know?
Absolutely, yeah. It makes sense to move on Sundays as long as you ain't got work in the morning and you don't go for a mega heavy sesh.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
But yeah, brilliant. Appreciate that, Rob. It's been a pleasure having you on the
Thanks for
show.
having me, mate. Thank you.
Yep. Thanks, Rob.